Secret of everything. Key to the universe. Enoch, creator of mind reality. Introduction. Have you ever wondered what is the secret of everything? It sums up the complete reality of all possibilities. Find out how simple the secret really is. The integrative mindset is the key to powerful perceptual ability and intelligent thinking. When you have the integrative mindset, you can have complete perspective and understanding of everything you experience. Gain the integrative mindset, and it will forever change the way you think and perceive about anything and everything. This is the most powerful mindset to have. It will influence every important decision you make and every big idea you work on. Do you want to know how does speed really work? How does it feel to be able to make progress at an accelerated rate? Find out the secret of speed. There is only one power. All other powers are manifestation of the same unlimited power. All inability is lack of power. Once you know the secret of power, all power in the universe is in your hands. You can do anything and accomplish all things. God has given you all power, or he has given you none at all. He doesn't give partially and reserves the rest. When God gives, he gives the way a God would give, completely and totally. God gives you all there is. Your only question is how much to take of that unlimited supply. All power in the universe is placed in your hands. You can use as wisely or let it go to waste. Best regards, Enoch, creator of mind reality. Content. 1. Secret of everything. 2. Integrative mindset. Having complete perception. 3. Secret of speed. 4. Secret of power. 5. 3 factors of intention. Will, desire and belief. 6. Self-mastery depends on powers of concentration. 7. Success depends on well-concentrated efforts. 8. Silent reserved power is most potent. 9. Power and responsibility bring each other. 10. Increasing your power to the highest level. Chapter 1. Secret of everything. The secret of everything. Everything is mental. All talent, skill, power, speed and ability is mental. Nothing is impossible. Anything is possible. There is nothing you cannot be, do or have. You can be, do and have anything you want as long as you have the mind for it. The inner world creates the outer world. Your beliefs, intentions and emotions create your reality. Magic is causing change to occur in accordance with will. Wherever your mind focuses, your energy goes. Everything is mind. Mind is everything. The universe is mind. Mind controls everything. Mind is reality. Reality is mind. The master of mind is master of everything. Chapter 2. Integrative Mindset. Having complete perception. Everything follows order. There is a hierarchy to everything. The hierarchy changes from one perspective to another. Something that exists on one level is reflected on every other level. When you change something on one level, you change it on every other level. The rules of the higher level are above the rules of the lower level. The highest level of reality is the mental level. The mental and spiritual level are one and the same. The mental level defines every level. Seeing from the highest level is all you need because the mental level governs all other levels. The ultimate nature of reality is mental. See both sides of an argument and understand how each relates and integrates with the other. See things from multiple dimensions and unify them into a whole. Every aspect is part of the whole. Every step depends on the one before it. Neglect one function and the whole does not work as well as it should. Everything connects with everything else, nothing stands entirely alone. All things are related to one another in an inseparable and unified way. Everything has a core, the core leads to everything else. The core is the purest structure within all structures. It is essence structure. Everything has its corresponding expression on every level. The same thing exists in different forms from one level to the next. Everything can be defined to the core. All things have their most simplified and concise state. Everything is unified and simplified. The best structure is the structure that integrates and simplifies everything. It is the most ordered and clearest organization of things. Nothing is complex, everything is simple. It all depends how it is organized. The complex is made simple through organization. All organization is organization of mind. When something is better organized, there is more effectiveness and efficiency. There are only two worlds, the world within and the world without. All things relate to one or the other. What relates to one relates to the other. Something can be defined even better and better. Do not be stuck in a certain structure that keeps you from improving. Be formless, be changeable structure. Everything is dual and everything is one. Concepts create structure to help you define essence. What defines confines, what confines defines. They are both good and bad. They are neither good nor bad. You need to use the form to understand the formless and to use the formless to guide the form. Logic and non-logic can limit you. Logic and non-logic can free you. Just because you come to learn of a truth that is opposite of the first doesn't mean you must exclude the first. Both can be used at different context of workability. Extremes meet. All paradoxes can be reconciled. All truths are but half-truths. It is all about choosing the appropriate one to use for each situation. In every rule, there are exceptions. Complete perspective is complete understanding and truth. Every piece of the puzzle is important. You are never too far away from error. It's only a few degrees away from the truth. You are never too far away from the truth either. It is only a few degrees back. Inspiration has a holistic nature. Inspiration and creativity are one. Creativity is the ability to make connections, relate truths, combine ideas and integrate concepts into a single whole. Creativity combines existing forms to create new ones that are differentiated yet complete, or complete yet differentiated. The greater truth should be able to hold other truths within it. If not, it is not the greater truth. Always advance to the next level in your understanding of things. Be willing to refine your thinking and shift paradigms. Be formless, be changeable structure. Chapter 3. Secret of Speed. The secret of speed. Let speed be your supreme advantage. It is all about speed. Speed is a state of mind. All speed is mental. Think speed and you manifest speed. When you have speed, you are able to do things quicker and accomplish lots more faster. You are able to act, think, plan, respond, learn, perceive, realize, analyze, move, adapt, switch, develop, understand, decide, control, coordinate, communicate quicker and progress faster. Since failure leads to success, the idea is to fail as fast as possible and as many times as necessary in order to achieve larger amounts of success much faster. The key to gaining speed is to set things in such a way that gives you greater efficiency in doing things. Put yourself in the speed state of mind with consciousness moving from one thing to the next without stopping, and sometimes even skipping. A state of non-attachment, formlessness, free-flowing, changeability, without a care, acting at will without hesitation according to desire. The great secret of speed is organization. Get things organized in such a way that enables you to execute as fast as possible. Speed depends on economy of motion. More ease, less stress. Make no unnecessary motion. Let your moves be executed in the shortest, most direct and swiftest way possible. In previewing and pre-selecting, do it as fast as possible because not everything is what you want, and you'll want to find what you want quickly, so you can focus on them first. For most rapid perception, attention must be at its maximum focus on the area of the thing to be perceived. You must intend to see everything you can in the moment of looking. You can perceive faster by slowing down time in your consciousness. It is not time that slows down, but you that slows down. See in your mind's eye and memory things slowing down. Like a picture frame frozen from a movie in motion. It is the way you experience time slowing down or stopping when you see a beautiful person of your dreams. You must not fear but be calm and have a heightened state of awareness. Sometimes being more efficient means needing to sacrifice what's good or even what's great for what's best. Speed requires inner stability, peace, at rest and stillness at the core. Have a sense of certainty, focus, power and purpose. Having clarity of purpose, intention and action. There is only one purpose. To win. And to take only the most effective actions. And to focus only on where it is most effective to do so. And to act quickly at the right time. Precision is all important. You need to act with stability without fear and worry. Freshness of mind allows you to engage every moment powerfully. Make each shot your first shot. Make every move your first move. Make every game your first game. You need to be accurate in order to be truly fast. Do not be trapped by expectations. An encounter can happen any moment. Be aware of the little things that get in your way and be sure to avoid them. Everything can be done in a controlled manner. When you have mastery, you will be able to act at maximum speed with complete control. Have the quickness, but also have the inner confidence to muster the conviction to do so. There are those who have the speed, but lack conviction or vice versa. Possessing the ability to be quick but lacking conviction would only impede your actions. Speed can only be fully utilized with conviction. It is not the length of experience but the intensity that matters. Intense experiences can cause you to learn a tremendous amount. The way to dramatic growth and increase is to keep finding and putting your attention into things that can cause dramatic change in your consciousness and actions. The greater the impact it makes, the better. This is the secret of advancing very quickly. The secret of succeeding very quickly is to quit like crazy. Quit what you feel isn't working for you, or what you find isn't what you want or like. Don't be a fool persisting in what you don't believe really suits you. Quit faster, give up. Keep trying new things and testing. Persist only in that which you believe you can make to work for you. Edison was a super quitter. He quit 10,000 times rapidly until he finally found success. Look for that which is easiest to do, that can take you in the direction you want to go. In this mentality, there is no quitting, there is only testing. Test as short as possible to get the necessary data you need, and then make the next test. You can quite happily spend time trying out new things only to see them flop. All it takes is one success, and you can enjoy all the rewards it brings to you. Be prepared to try 3 things and 2 are flops, but 1 is the success you are looking for. Keep moving on to the next, don't stop at any place for longer than you need. Quit while you're ahead, and move on to the next venture. Chapter 4. Secret of Power. It is all about power. You are either in a state of power or a state without it. You will always work far better from a position of power than from the lack of it. Power is the ability to do, or the capacity to act. Awareness is power. The more you have it, the more power you have over every area of life. Perception is the key to solving all problems. Understanding the problem dissolves the problem. Awareness is power, because awareness gives you choice. Choice is an illusion when it is created by those in control for those who are not. To be in control, you must know. You must understand how things work and know what is going on. You need awareness to make conscious choices. Awareness is the first step, the second step is change. You should understand what you intend to change and the reasons behind it. Knowledge brings awareness, therefore knowledge is power. All of life is a learning experience for you to become all you can be. The opposite of fear is a sense of power. Fear is feeling powerless. When you feel powerful, you are fearless. Fear is power being projected outside of us. If you believe you have no power over something, you become afraid it can harm you. Doubt is not believing in our power to create a desired outcome for a situation. It is all based on belief. Belief based on awareness or ignorance. From a reality creation perspective, fear and doubt can become 2 of your best friends. When you're feeling afraid or powerless, or feeling doubt about the outcome of a situation, it's a chance to step back and say, "Aha, here is another area for me to reclaim my power." Fear and doubt are transformed from something which blocked you from achieving your goals to friendly advisors who wave bright orange flags at any place in your life where you don't believe in your own power. There is wonderful inherent power within us all, and there is never any sufficient cause for fear, except ignorance. All mistakes are but the mistakes of ignorance. Knowledge gaining and consequent power is what determines growth and evolution. The recognition and demonstration of knowledge is what constitutes power, and this power is spiritual power, and this spiritual power is the power which lies at the heart of all things. It is the soul of the universe. This knowledge is the result of man's ability to think. Thought is therefore the germ of man's conscious evolution. When man ceases to advance in his thoughts and ideals, his forces immediately begin to disintegrate, and his countenance gradually registers these changing conditions. Everyone that possesses the power to think has the power to overcome ignorance and evil. The pain that we suffer from doing evil are but the lessons of experience, and the object of the pain is to make us realize our ignorance. You can't think of everything and produce all knowledge yourself as fast as you can by using other people's minds, thinking and knowledge. Unifying knowledge of others and your own is the best way to achieve greater awareness and the most efficient way. It is the fastest possible way to gain power. It's all about speed and power. The secret of power. All power is mental. The greatest power in the universe is psychic power. Mind controls everything. Think power and you manifest power. The secret of power is consciousness of power. All power is from within and is absolutely within your control. No power is without. Everything that happens without is happening within. All of reality is in your mind. The magic is in believing. Belief is power. All game is inner game. All control is self-control. When you are in control of your inner world, you are in control of your outer world. If all power is mental, then the greatest knowledge is mental knowledge. Knowledge is power, therefore mental knowledge is mental power. What people need is a helping mind rather than a helping hand. Since your mind is the stronger one, choose to lead instead of follow. You follow only when you are passive. There is only one force, mental force. There is only one power, mental power. There is only one influence, mental influence. Mind is force, energy is force. Use the mind to direct the energy with the will. Force directing force directing force. That is the chain of influence. Mind is the most changeable aspect in any environment. A thought or idea always precedes form. Things at higher frequency are more easily changed than at lower rates of vibration. Because it is the most changeable, it has the greatest power to change everything else. The same characteristics it possesses the same characteristics of its power. The nature of its being is the nature of its power. Power and being are one. Mind is the most responsive medium to thought waves. All of us are affected by the mental forces of our environment. There is no one that can remain neutral to influences. If the environment you are in is not helpful, it will be harmful. That is why a change of position will often do a person a great deal of good. You can mentally change the vibrations of a place from heavy and discordant to harmonious ones, if it is of enough importance to you to alter it, rather than to endure or escape it. The great secret of mental power is concentration. The difference in concentration explains the difference in the manifestation of mental power among men. The most powerful fighter is an ordinary man with laser precision focus. The highest forms of energy, force or power are manifested by bringing the force to a focus, center, or common point, thereby directing to that point the entire energy employed, instead of allowing it to become dissipated over a larger area. The power of steam, which manifests great power by being forced to discharge itself through a small point or opening, instead of being permitted to spread itself widely in the air. The same law applies to gunpowder, which manifests force by its gases being compelled to escape through the small gun barrel, instead of spreading in all directions, which it would do if unconfined. Mental force operates best when it is concentrated. The secret of mental concentration lies in the control of attention, and the control of attention lies in the exercise of the will. Chapter 5. 3 Factors of Intention. Will, Desire and Belief. Intention has 3 factors influencing it, which are the will, desire and belief. A being could not act unless it willed to act, and it would not will to act unless it desired to act, and it would not desire to act unless it obtained some satisfaction thereby. What it is satisfied by will depend on its own nature. Its own nature is determined by its consciousness. Therefore, the order of causation in mental creation is consciousness to beingness to desire to will to action. The action is firstly mental action, that leads to physical action secondly. I think therefore I am, therefore I desire, therefore I will conceive and carry out my plan with action, to get what I desire, and find satisfaction doing so. The psyche consists of the faculty of intellect, the faculty of emotion, the the faculty of will and desire. It is the faculty of will and desire that is the most powerful and authentic one. It is the will and desire faculty that makes you do what you do. It is the will and desire faculty that brings you back to the thing that you've left multiple times. It is the will and desire faculty that causes you to refine yourself and everything you are doing until you achieve what you've always wanted. To make a decision based on what you really want. Make it from the will and desire faculty. Belief gives strength to your intentions. Belief is power. The more you believe in something, the more power you give it to have effect. Desire in the absence of belief is neediness. Desire in the presence of belief is having a strong intent. The belief has to be the unwavering certainty that you'll achieve your intended outcome. You could have all of the skills and desire in the world, but without the unwavering certainty that you'll get what you want, you're doomed. But one does not absolutely need to have an unwavering certainty. That is not always entirely possible. There might be doubts or contrary beliefs that exist. It is all a matter of focus. By choosing only to focus on that which is empowering and positive, one eliminates the effect of that which is disempowering and negative, as though they don't exist. Hence you will seem to have an unwavering certainty. The law of attraction is whatever you focus on most of the time, you get. You attract to you everything and anything you hold in your mind, whether wanted or unwanted. Intention is applied attention. Attention is a word derived from the Latin root, meaning to reach out, to stretch out, and so the act of attention is really a mental reaching out, extension of mental energy. Intention is where you are mentally reaching out to. The will is mind force or mental assertion. When you will something, you mentally assert it. You have the mindset that commands and demands that it must be so and that it will. Your will gives power to your intention. Will is the outward manifestation of spirit. People are normally focused on their problems. Problems are simply unmet desires. The will is the ruling faculty of the mind. Only the conscious mind has the ability to assert the will. He who has no will has no mind. His mind is not his own, but is being used by another. Unless we control thought, it will control us. Secret of the will. The will is directed by desire. The trouble with us is that we do not want to do the thing enough to make us exert our willpower. We don't want to hard enough. Strong will follows strong desire. The person that never wants anything gets little. To demand resolutely is the first step toward getting what you want. All operations of the mind are based on desires. Your beliefs about your desires form the characteristics of your will. It is most important to have the right beliefs about your desires. Concentration is sustained focus. Will is the faculty of concentration. Concentration requires interest. The relation between concentration and interest is the relation between will and desire. It is certain that you can do what you want to do. The desire to do it is proof that you have within you the power which can do it. Desire is power seeking to manifest. Deep down inside you know you can do it, that's why you want to do it. Every desire is possibility seeking expression through life. The desire to play music is the power which can play music seeking expression and development. The desire to speak before millions is the power which can inspire the world seeking expression and development. The key is development. When there is no power, either developed or undeveloped to do a thing, there is never any desire to do that thing. Power is the ability to do or the capacity to act. When there is strong desire to do a thing, it is certain proof that the power to do it is strong. The more unbreakable a desire is, the more unbreakable the power present is. Power comes from purpose. It is God that works in us both to will and to do. Desire is based on purpose. In your strongest desires, you feel a definite sense of purpose which is undeniable within you. Purpose is what defines us and binds us to our design and destiny. Purpose is the will of the divine. The stronger the motive, the greater the concentration. Motive is purpose-driven desire for moving forces towards the attainment of a thing. The will never acts in a direction which the mind believes impossible. The disbelief acts as a brake on the will. Belief removes the barrier for the will to act. When you have the realization that there are others out there doing what you are thinking of, it gives you the permission to go totally into it without holding back. Desire force is attracting power. Desire is an emotion and all emotion is energy in motion. The emotion of your desire pulls what you want towards you and pulls you towards what you want. Allow yourself to be authentic with your feeling of what you don't want, but focus more of the time on what you want. It doesn't matter what you want or don't want. What you focus on most of the time, you will get. Focusing on something gives it the mental life to exist. The will and desire are already operating at full blast. It is belief that releases or unleashes their power. The more you believe, the stronger your will and desire will be. Belief is belief in purpose. Belief realizes purpose. Belief unleashes your desire and willpower according to purpose. Belief connects your will and desire with a universal willpower and infinite desire. Imagination is the faculty of belief. A person's free will always yields to the imagination. You cannot imagine one thing and will in the opposite direction. You cannot will yourself to be steady if you keep imagining that you will fall. Your will is powerless to make you advance if you imagine that you cannot. It is absolutely impossible for you to do so. You must will to imagine in accordance to your will. You can aid the will with the imagination. As you imagine, your will acts along. The mental picture is the mental force. Where you focus is the direction your will acts. Your will does not need training, but your mind does. The mind is the instrument and the supply of willpower is proportionate to the fineness of the instrument through which it manifests. The will is feeling force. Since all sense is one sense, to feel is to imagine and to imagine is to feel. Will and imagination are one. All mind power is one mind power. Everything can be resolved into the will imagination. Although the will is directed by desire and desire is influenced by belief, it is still the will that chooses the belief. So it is ultimately the will directing itself. The reason why this is so is because God created each of us as a free will entity. We have a self-regulating will. The extent you succeed in getting something is determined by what you truly believe is possible and how intensely you desire the result. A strong intent is having the will and desire to do whatever it takes to get your intended outcome, coupled with the belief that you can actually get that outcome. To sum it up, an intention is what you focus on. It is all a matter of choice. You can choose where to direct your attention to, but choice is based on awareness. Once you know, you can choose. Gaining more knowledge about how things work in the mind and reality gives you more power to make conscious decisions in life. Chapter 6. Self-mastery depends on powers of concentration. You develop your faculties of self-mastery in proportion to the extent you succeed in developing your powers of concentration. Watch the next person you see that has the reputation of being a strong character, a man of force. Watch and see what a perfect control he has over his body. Then watch just an ordinary person. Notice how he moves his eyes, arms, fingers, notice the useless expenditure of energy. These movements all break down the vital cells and lessen the person's power in vital and nerve directions. It is just as important for you to conserve your nervous forces as it is the vital forces. The mind is associated with muscle and nerve. When you steady your nerves and muscles, you steady your mind, but let your nerves get out of order, and your mind will become erratic, and you will not possess the power of direction, which, in other words, is concentration. If the heart flutters, the circulation is not regular, and when the lung action is uneven, the mind becomes unsteady and not fit for concentration. This is why controlled breathing is very important as a foundation for physical health. The secret of controlling your emotions is in controlling your breathing. Your main physiological life function is your respiratory system. You must not only concentrate your mind, but also the action of the eyes, ears and fingers. Each of these contains miniature minds that are controlled by the master engineer. You will develop much quicker if you thoroughly realize this. The next time you feel yourself becoming irritable, use your will and be patient. This is a very good exercise in self-control. It will help you to keep patient if you will breathe slowly and deeply. If you find you are commencing to speak fast, just control yourself and speak slowly and clearly. Keep from either raising or lowering your voice and concentrate on the fact that you are determined to keep your poise, and you will improve your power of concentration. Any exercises that give you better control of the ears, fingers, eyes, feet, help you to steady your mind. When your eye is steady, your mind is steady. One of the best ways to study a person is to watch his physical movements, for, when we study his actions, we are studying his mind. Because actions are the expressions of the mind. As the mind is, so is the action. If it is uneasy, restless, erratic, unsteady, its actions are the same. When it is compassed, the mind is compassed. Concentration means control of the mind and body. You cannot secure control over one without the other. The real benefit of physical cultivation is that when you learn to control the body, you are gaining control over the mind. Always observe what you are doing with your body, and you will know what is happening with your mind. According to the principle of correspondence, there is mental muscle just as there is physical muscle. The more you use your will, the stronger it becomes and the less effort you need to assert for the same use over time. Unlike things on the physical level, things on the mental level can be built up almost immediately, depending on the mind of the user. Use your mental forces so that they will grow and develop. Remember that everything you do is the result of mental action, therefore you can completely control your every action. Nothing is impossible for you. Many people who seem to lack ambition have sluggish minds. They are steady, patient and seemingly have good control, but this does not say they are able to concentrate. These people are indolent, inactive, slow and listless because they lack energy. They do not lose control because they have little force to control. They have no temper and it therefore cannot disturb them. Their actions are steady because they possess little energy. The natural person is internally strong, energetic and forceful, but his energy, force and strength, thoughts and physical movements are well under his control. If a person does not have energy, both mental and physical, he must develop it. If he has energy which he cannot direct and hold to a point, he must learn to do so. A man may be very capable, but, unless he wills to control his abilities, they will not do him any good. Energy creation and control are all purely mental. The first step is to summon up lots of energy. The second step is to focus it. Control is concentrated power. The more attention you can capture from someone, the more attention you have to manipulate. The more influence you have over them. The one that stands up like a man and has control over the muscles of his face and eyes always commands attention. In his conversation, he can better impress those with whom he comes in contact. He acquires a feeling of calmness and strength that causes opposition to melt away before it. The more energy you can summon up within yourself, the more energy you have to direct and the more magnetic influence you have. You can gain energy from external stimulus such as music, dance, martial art and video, or you can gain it within from imagination and memory. Raising your vibrations polarizes yourself more and more on the positive and increases your magnetic power. Chapter 7. Success depends on well-concentrated efforts. The successful lives are the concentrated lives. The utterly helpless multitude that sooner or later have to be cared for by charity are those that were never able to concentrate and who have become the victims of negative ideas. Concentration means success because you are better able to govern yourself and centralize your mind. You become more in earnest in what you do, and this almost invariably improves your chances for success. He who does not rule himself is not a success. The person that can direct his energies and hold them at work in a concentrated manner controls his every work and act and thereby gains power to control others. He can make his every move serve a useful end and every thought a noble purpose. When you can control yourself, you can control others. You can develop a will that will make you a giant compared with a man that lacks willpower. Try out your willpower in different ways until you have it under such control that just as soon as you decide to do a thing, you go ahead and do it. When you learn how to concentrate and reinforce your thought, you control your mental creations. They in turn help to mold your physical environment, and you become the master of circumstances and the ruler of your kingdom. Success depends on well-concentrated efforts. You must use every mental force you can master. The more these are used, the more they increase. Therefore, the more you accomplish today, the more force you will have at your disposal with which to solve your problems tomorrow. By attending to each day's work properly, you develop the capacity to do a greater work tomorrow. It is this gradual development that makes possible the carrying out of big plans. Tackle everything with a feeling that you will utilize all the power within you to make it a success. This is the kind of concentrated effort that succeeds. Never think of the ways in which weak or sickly people do things, always think of the way strong people do things. Spend your leisure time in thinking about the strong way until you have a good conception of it, and always think of yourself in connection with the strong way of doing things. A man who thinks energy manifests energy. The man who thinks courage manifests courage. The man who thinks, I can and I will gets there, while the I can't man gets left. You know that to be true. Now, what causes the difference? Thought. Just plain thought. But why? Just because it cannot help itself. Action follows as the natural result of vigorous thinking. You think in earnest, and action does the rest. Thought is the greatest thing in the world. To succeed in business, believe that it will be successful, assert that it is successful, and work like a beaver to make it so. Difficulties soon melt away before the courageous. One man of courage can fire with his spirit a whole army of men, whether it be military or industrial, because courage, like cowardice, is contagious. You first clearly picture what is wanted, and then you concentrate on getting it. Have absolute faith that your desires will be realized. Believe that it will, according to your belief, be fulfilled. Never, at this time, attempt to analyze the belief. You don't care anything about the whys and wherefores. You want to gain the thing you desire, and if you concentrate on it in the right way, you will get it. A caution. Never think you will not succeed, but picture what is wanted as already yours, and yours it surely will be. Hold the ideal in mind until your vision has been made real. Give no thought to anything that has no place in the absolute. We can only see what already exists in the objective world, but what we visualize already exists in the spiritual world, and this visualization is the substance of what will one day appear in the objective world if we are faithful to our ideal. Never let another's opinion affect you. He cannot tell what you are able to do, he does not know what you can do with your forces. Others have power only according to the power you give them. In everything, never allow yourself to be attached. To be attached means to be powerless because what you attach yourself to, you give your power to it. When you look to outside sources to bring you fulfillment, you are giving your power away. When you are looking to something outside yourself for power and happiness, you are making something other than your true self your source. You may think that you don't have power in some areas of life, whether be it with people or situations, but you can have power in every area and every level. You just have to use it differently. A man is no stronger than his weakest point, to obvious rule, as to find that weakest point and direct the attack right there. You will readily see that the main thing to be accomplished is to elude the vigilance of the conscious mind. There are many ways of doing this, the thing to do is to find out the best way. If one way does not work, try another. If you keep at it you will win eventually. Faint heart never won fair lady. It can be done if it is gone about properly. Never take no for an answer. Pursue the same plan in business that you would if you were courting the girl you loved. In the latter case, a no or two, or a dozen for that matter, would not count. Pursue the same tactics in your business, and you will win the day. Fortune is feminine, you know, and possesses all of the characteristics of the sex. When you must have something, demand. Do not ask. When you ask, you empower the person you are asking to say no. He who has a firm will, says Goethe, molds the world to himself. People do not lack strength, says Victor Hugo, they lack will. When the mind is properly strengthened by the impulse of the will, it becomes a more powerful transmitter of thought because it has more force. The ability to concentrate is strength of mind. You concentrate at the moment when you say, I want to, I can, I will, I must. Proper concentration is a state of mental quiet where there is peace of mind. Where there is harmony between the conscious and subconscious mind. The concentration is partly conscious and partly subconscious. There is a balance between tension and relaxation. Concentration is sustained focus. You can concentrate better when your psychic energy is freed up for the task at hand. That means your mind is fresh for the task because you have resolved other things that needs to be settled. Sustainable focus for work follows a rhythm of relaxed focus and concentrated focus. Work in waves between total concentration and total relaxation, cycling many times per day. Consistency of intention is the key to increasing power in anything. When you focus on something consistently over time, the more intense it gets and the more powerful it becomes in affecting reality. Being consciously attentive and holding your mind to one thing at a time. The concentration is a quieting of the mind and shutting out every other distracting useless mental activity so that there is full power directed. Silence and still all other unnecessary thought vibrations in your mind and attenuate the one you are focusing on. You should also be able to drop the thing you are doing and focus on the next thing immediately. Being unattached gives you the ability to drop whatever it is you are focusing upon at the moment and focus on something new. It makes you able to switch your concentration from one thing to another. It keeps your consciousness in flow and not fixed at any spot, so it can be free and spontaneous in experiencing unfoldment. A child instinctively but unconsciously knows when he needs help, he must be quiet and concentrate. How can you get anything by merely wanting it? Through concentration you can get anything you want. Every desire can be gratified. But whether it is, will depend upon you concentrating to have that desire fulfilled. Power to him who power exerts. Chapter 8. Silent reserved power is most potent. Silent, concentrated thought is more potent than spoken words, for speech distracts from the focusing power of the mind by drawing more and more attention to the without. There is no power so potent as the silent reserved power. So keep your own counsel, and do not scatter and weaken your force by talking about it to others, far less by boasting about it. The secret of great people is their belief in themselves and in their inherent power, in their faculty to concentrate on the work in hand when they are working, and in their ability to prevent leaks of power when they are not working. They believe in themselves and make every effort count. Your village wise man spills his wisdom on every corner and talks to a lot of fools, when if he really were wise, he would save up his wisdom and place it where it would do some work. The brilliant writer does not waste his wit upon every corner, in fact, he shuts the drawer in which he contains his wit and opens it only when he is ready to concentrate and get down to business. The captain of industry has no desire to impress you with his shrewdness and smartness. He never did, even when he was young. While his companions were talking and boasting and blowing, this future successful financier was sawing wood and saying nothing. Give your best to each thing you do, knowing that plenty of more good things are in you ready for the fresh tasks that will come. Put the best of yourself into the undertaking on hand, and do not cheat the present task in favor of some future one. Your supply is inexhaustible. And don't waste your good stuff on the crowd of gapers, watchers and critics who are standing around watching you work. Save your good stuff for your job, and don't be in too much of a hurry for applause. Save up your good thoughts for copy if you are a writer. Save up your bright schemes for actual practice if you are a businessman. Save up your wisdom for occasion if you are a statesman. And, in each case, avoid the desire to scatter your pearls before the gaping crowd that wants to be entertained by a free show. In order to speak wisely, you must secure at least a partial concentration of the faculties and forces upon the subject at hand. Speech interferes with the focusing powers of the mind as it withdraws the attention to the external. You need to take time to think and not answer too quickly. It is necessary to be silent before you can speak wisely. Remember that the first step in concentration is to form a mental image of what you wish to accomplish. This image becomes a thought seed that attracts thoughts of a similar nature. Around this thought, when it is once planted in the imagination or creative region of the mind, you group or build associated thoughts which continue to grow, as long as your desire is keen enough to compel close concentration. The inventor has to work out his idea mentally before he produces it materially. The architect first sees the mental picture of the house he is to plan, and from this works out the one we see. Every object, every enterprise, must first be mentally created. Do you know that you are continually acting according to the images you form? If you allow yourself to mold negative images, you unconsciously build a negative disposition. You will think of poverty, weakness, disease, fear, etc. Just as surely as you think of these will your objective life express itself in a like way. Think of wealth, power, health, joy. Just what we think, we will manifest in the external world. All through history there has always been a naysayer in every situation where greatness was obtained. If you tell 5 people of your plans for wealth and success, the chances are that at least 2 or 3 of them will shoot down your idea without half a thought. Why do people do this? The answer is simple. So many people are beat down by the mental programming that tells us we can't succeed that they do not believe they or anyone they know can reach a level of anything more than working class, or even worse, poverty. This is sad but true. It will benefit you to keep your plans for a better life to yourself while you are growing into your position. There will be plenty of time to talk about your success once it has actually taken place. The time to tell them about your goals is after you have achieved your goals. It is not worth risking the chance of some miserable individual trying to discourage you from doing something you feel in your heart. If you keep your goals and intention statements to yourself, people are less likely to try to stop or advise you. Only reveal your intentions and goals to people who need to know or can help you realize your goal more quickly. Share your intentions with only those who you know will be supportive and encouraging. Share your mind only with people who are worthy. Do not stir up your opponent's resolve to beat you. Keep them of a weak mind, so that you can overpower them with little psychic resistance. Remember, you are fighting nothing but mind. Have your inner resolve and quiet within you. But you can allow yourself to be stirred up to increase your mental powers of resolve and concentration to win. Motivation from a situation is all it takes to summon your fire and focus. Chapter 9. Power and responsibility bring each other. In everything we do, we either progress or regress. With great power comes great responsibility, but the reverse is true, for with great responsibility comes great power. Responsibility is power. Taking responsibility is taking control. When you take responsibility, you gain power. When you do not take responsibility, you are giving away your power to something or someone else. To become more responsible is to grow. All growth is progress. All work assists in development. We never stand still. Every time we accomplish something, it gives us ability to do greater things. The bigger the attempt undertaken, the greater the things accomplished in the future. This is a good idea to keep always in mind. When you are uncertain whether you should do something or not, just think whether by doing it you will grow or deteriorate, and act accordingly. Every achievement is a platform for even greater achievements. Put in your best effort in the current work you are doing so that you can build a better foundation to be better equipped for what comes later. Slowness in making decisions. This is a weakness of willpower. You know you should do something, but you delay doing it through lack of decision. It is easier not to do a certain thing than to do it, but conscience says to do it. The vast majority of persons are failures because of the lack of deciding to do a thing when it should be done. Those that are successful have been quick to grasp opportunities by making a quick decision. This power of will can be used to bring culture, wealth and health. By making quick decisions on little things, you will acquire the ability to make quick decisions in bigger things. Never procrastinate. Decide quickly one way or the other, even at the risk of deciding wrong. Lack of perseverance is nothing but the lack of the will to do. It takes the same energy to say, "I will continue," as to say, "I give up." Just the moment you say the latter, you shut off your dynamo, and your determination is gone. Every time you allow your determination to be broken, you weaken it. Don't forget this. Just the instant you notice your determination beginning to weaken, concentrate on it, and by sheer willpower make it continue on the job. Strengthening decisions will gradually increase our power, while weakening decisions will gradually decrease it. Every time you do not do what you decided to do because of fear, worry or anxiety, you weaken your will and hence your mind. Every situation is merely a test of your will and mind. You either advance in power or decline. The decision at the time it is made is strong because the thoughts and emotions that lead one to make the decision are strong at the time. It is the lapse of time that weakens a decision. If the thoughts are kept strong, the decision remains, and the will grows stronger instead of weaker. Learning to use your will is as important as developing your intellect. The man that has not learned how to use his will rarely decides things for himself, but allows his resolutions to be changed by others. He fluctuates from one opinion to another, and of course does not accomplish anything out of the ordinary, while his brother with a trained will takes his place among the world's leaders. The good things of the world are not the portion of any favored sons. They belong to all, but they come only to those who are wise enough to recognize that the good things are theirs by right and who are sufficiently courageous to reach out for them. None but the brave deserves the fair. The more confident you are of receiving it, the more will you use in reaching out for it, the surer you will be to obtain it. You must awaken to a realization that you are merely asking for your own, and not for something to which you have no right or claim. So long as there exists in your mind the last sneaking bit of doubt as to your right to the things you want, you will be setting up a resistance to the operation of the law. You may demand as vigorously as you please, but you will lack the courage to act if you have a lingering doubt of your right to the thing you want. If you persist in regarding the desired thing as if it belonged to another, instead of to yourself, you will be placing yourself in the position of the covetous or envious man, or even in the position of a tempted thief. In such a case your mind will revolt at proceeding with the work, for it instinctively will recoil from the idea of taking what is not your own. The mind is honest. But when you realize that the best the universe holds belongs to you as a divine heir, and that there is enough for all without your robbing anyone else, then the friction is removed, and the barrier broken down, and the law proceeds to do its work. You don't find this trouble with children as a rule. They instinctively recognize that nothing is too good for them. They want all that is in sight to play with, and they seem to feel that the things are theirs by right. And that is the condition of mind that we seekers after the divine adventure must cultivate. Unless we become as little children we cannot enter the kingdom of heaven. Chapter 10. Increasing your power to the highest level. Faith is an action. The more you physically take steps in the direction of your desire, the more you vibrate in harmony with it, and the more it will become your reality. The more you use your power, the more it increases and the more powerful you become. Every obstacle conquered, every victory gained, will give you more faith in your power, and you will have greater ability to win. Every little success you experience increases your belief in self. The key to power is belief in self, which is confidence. Sometimes the reason why you keep finding yourself unable to make much progress is because you constantly set yourself in situations that adversely affect your belief in self. Stop playing in those difficult situations and start playing in easier ones instead. Do not think that easier situations are not worth your time. In fact, you might not realize it, but that is where you draw your power from. When you fail in more challenging situations, easier situations can help you regain your power. Always take advantage of situations that are easy to build up your belief in self before moving on to conquer more difficult ones. Do not treat easy situations lightly, but to focus on fully dominating them. When you dominate easier situations you gain the mental ability to dominate more challenging ones. Confidence helps you to win and winning gives you confidence. Things can work one way and the other way. The key is to build up confidence. Always move from the small to the big, from the slow to the fast, from being more cautious to being more bold. This is the secret of making optimal progress. It is back to mastering the basics. The natural way of progress. Confidence is everything. The key is to be in the frequency or state of confidence, accuracy and resilience. Think confidence in order to be confident. Think accuracy in order to be accurate. Think resilience in order to be resilient. In order to be in battle, morale is crucial to victory or defeat. Your experience in every moment depends mainly on the frequency or state you are in. All you have to do is to remember the desired frequency and get back into it. When you refine your actions in an easier situation, you set yourself up to handle more challenging ones effectively. The place to hone and retrain all your skills is in the easier situations. When you have that feeling of dominating in easier situations, you can take that feeling and handle challenging ones more powerfully. It makes you feel like you can dominate any situation. It makes you feel on top of things. Things are easy because you make them easy for you. The time to exert your power most of all is in the face of dominant people who use their power upon you in ways that are not according to your best interests and benefits. When you do not exert your power against evil dominant influences, you will weaken it. Do not fear them, do not let them intimidate or dominate you. Assert yourself and even cast them out of your world with expressed forcefulness of your will and fire, if you have to. In so doing you regain control of your reality and establish yourself as the dominant force. When you take care of the little things, the big things take care of themselves. When you use your power to subdue small problems, the big ones wouldn't even exist. Hold your mind on what you are doing, no matter what it is. Keep a careful watch over yourself, for unless you do your improvement will be very slow. When you are in a situation where your actions have immediate control in its outcome, you should concentrate on what you are doing and do it as well as you can. When a situation is outside of your immediate control, and there is nothing you can do to physically act upon it, you should concentrate on thinking the right thoughts, imagine what you desire to happen, and mentally will it to happen. Here is the secret of control. What you can control you should control, what you cannot control, you should let go and let God. Trust God and everything will be under control. You must learn to exercise control in the way you use superglue. If you screw up with superglue, you get stuck, and you can't do anything. Control is the same way. You get stuck with it, and it sticks you to something that you don't need to be stuck to. You must be very selective about what you decide to control or not control. Control is a two-way thing. When done intelligently, you can attain and secure what you want. What done incorrectly, it can create and perpetuate something less than wanted. So therefore choose to control when it is appropriate to control, and at other times choose to be allowing, let go, and let things run their course. Controlling when you exercise control, and when you choose not to control, is how you shape and mold your reality in a way that is according to the master's control. Work when you work, and play when you play. When you give yourself up to pleasure you can develop concentration by thinking of nothing else but pleasure. When your mind dwells on love, think of nothing but this, and you will find you can develop a more intense love than you ever had before. Goal setting, focusing on one thing at a time, perseverance and persistence are simply intention, focus, concentration and will. When you know the single principle that unifies all uses of mental power, it increases your understanding and ability to use them exponentially. Knowing that all is mental gives you unlimited power. Mental power seems an unreal power because it is intangible, but the greatest powers in the universe are invisible powers. Everyone has mental power over reality, but you have the greatest power over your own reality. When you realize that, all power is in your hands. When you link yourself with thoughts of omnipotence, you will kill out entirely your belief in your limitations, and at the same time, will drive away all fear and other negative and destructive thought forces which constantly work against you. Being conscious that you are all-powerful makes you all-powerful indeed. All limits are mental. The only thing stopping you is the mind. The only thing that can free you is the mind. You are the mind. You are the one restricting or liberating yourself. All obstacles are mental blocks. Ordinary measures get you ordinary results at best. For extraordinary results, you need to take extraordinary measures. To be exceptional, you need to be the exception. Remember, there are no rules, there are no limits. When you can remove the limits of a thing in your mind, anything is possible for you and you can do it more powerfully than anyone else. All power is meant to serve love. All power is for the expression of love. Power is only a means to an end. The end is love. Power alone is meaningless. Love itself is everything. Out of love comes power, where there is no power. Love desires to be realized. The desire of love to be realized is the power within love seeking to manifest. The greater the love, the greater the desire and the greater the power that can be manifested. All it takes is the right belief to unleash the full power of that love's desire into realization. This is the power of love. Nothing but intense love will enable you to surmount the many obstacles placed in your path. Nothing but that love will enable you to bear the burdens of the task. The more desire you have for a thing, the more you love it. And the more you love it, the greater will be the attractive force exerted toward its attainment, both within you and outside of you.